can have Bill Yarrow coming up and entertain us. Bill?
All right, hi everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to support Blotterature, and it's a wonderful magazine, and really enjoy it and the hard work that Quinn and Julie and Kayla and everyone puts into it. Okay, so I'm going to read a few poems from my first book called Quinn Sentences. This first book is called Processes. I used to I teach literature and I teach writing, and when I lived in New York, I taught at a college there, and students have to write an essay called a process essay, which is a how-to essay. How to do this, how to do that. And they were so bad, so terrible. I dreaded reading them, and it was agony for me. So out of that frustration, I wrote a poem called Processes. Here it's in a couple parts. Processes. How to boil water. Get a pot, fill it with water, place it on the stove, turn on the flame. When tiny bubbles appear and grow wild, voila, it is done. How to cook an egg. Read my poem, How to Boil Water. Drop an egg in it. How to eat. Press your food into the hole just below your nose. How to think. Pick one thing you've been told. Pick this one thing you've been told and pick and keep picking at it until the scab of unknowing falls off. How to love. Sweep into one corner all your ego. Set a match to it. How to die. Watch those who live in your neighborhood. Watch them closely. Copy what they cease to do. I like language and I like puns. And so this is a poem called Drinking an Orange Julius While Listening to Pink Floyd. Who has? Dozens. And in the first line, the word cash is C-A-C-H-E. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. Drinking an Orange Julius while listening to Pink Floyd. I was strapped for cash, so I called my friend Paulo, who wears Ecuadorian gray. Thank you. And he prefers Felipe to Ceylon. And asked him how to juggle all the crap life was throwing my way. And he said, Boyo, take your chessboard to Andorra and make someone. But I had already done that, so he was no help at all. I grabbed one of my shelf improvement books and read, I saw the best minds of my generation enter law school and realized that all the works I thought I knew had been defaced by assassins. I asked the wife of bathroom for a hit of relief. She handed me the anodyne and went out to make chicken a la Siegfried. I drifted into dreams. A man in a turquoise slicker sat on a skittish horse wearing an iron hat. He was pointing at a group of children in the houseware section of Walmart, playing catch with the throw rugs. A tsunami was rolling through the aisles. The man bellowed, watch out! But he couldn't force their attention. What is it? The waters poured over all the products of mankind. Death came as a sigh of relief. This one's about dreams. My dreams are a little odd. It's called In My Nephritic Dreams. In my dreams, God is toxic. In my dreams, heroism feels cowardly. In my dreams, traveling west is an oxymoron. In my dreams, I confuse Kurt Vonnegut with Kurt Waldheim. In my dreams, I forget Arthur Schopenhauer's first name. In my dreams, the Spanish and Bermuda onion vie for a place on the Danish pastry. In my dreams, a bazooka is a measure of time. In my dreams, the word expostulate means to cough. In my dreams, the remoulade reeks of sulfur. In my dreams, instead of a cap on my head, I wear a trade. In my dreams, I watch a sand shark sleep on a coral bed. In my dreams, the chickens come home to rooster. In my dreams, I am awake most of the night. Since it's almost summer, or kind of summer, or pretending to be summer, I'm going to read a summer poem, and this is called Demolition Derby. The goal of a demolition derby is to crash into all the other trucks as hard as you can without destroying your own vehicle. Sounds a lot like capitalism. I should have said that to my sons as we were sitting in the stands waiting for the vehicle melee to commence. Beside us were ornery women in tall hats, suspender dads, kids deformed with ribbons, rural Lotharios, tattooed grandmas, livestock lawyers, reverse cowboys. Thank you. First person who ever laughed at that. And young men carbuncular. Ladies and gentlemen, please step away from the wire fence. We're otherwise not responsible for the mud. Trucks run up mud, boys. Get used to it. And this one is called Four Noble Lies. When Carlotta left me, I cried into my soup. I shriveled into harsh mathematics. A decade later, I was living on Iowa Street with Karen. She had goldfish and good taste. I loved her for her fleshy neck. We drank simply Dos Equis and played mahjong. In March, I developed that cruel facial tic. That precipitated the divorce. At the thought of losing her, my heart contracted into a span. But I knew one day I'd replace her with a brutally neutered cat. One of my chapbooks is entitled Incompetent Translations and Inept Haiku. So I'll read a few poems from it. This one is called Rattlesnake Pancakes. I don't usually take bets, but I took this one. Blotto bet me a melamite ring I wouldn't eat a rattlesnake pancake. Normally, I'm cautious, but I needed a gift for Emily Beth. And her father, being a miner, she had a thing for melamite. The thing on my plate was the color of a dry scab, and it tasted as vile as it looked. But I got one swallow down, and then 20 followed in slow succession. I felt queasy, but Blotto never guessed. When 5 hours later I was still alive, he handed over the ring. I ran to Emily Beth's mom's place on Arapahoe. I found her sitting on a two-person glider on the wraparound porch. Emily Beth, I got a ring for you. Oh, blister. However did you afford a ring of melamite? That just heats my heart. Maybe so, Emily Beth, but are you tepid enough to wed? A gift is not a liberty blister. I'll not marry you until Father Life has sucked the selfish out your soul. Selfish? Selfish? I ate snake poison for you. Yeah, but you didn't die, did you? So what's the good of that? This one is called Cramshaw on a boat. We were floating on a chain of lakes, eating Rice Krispies out of a bucket. The sun is a soft lozenge, medicating a bright red sky. Water skiers hold on to their slackening ropes like love itself. On Party Island, the icy drunks of seas control, Crenshaw has his hand inside Margaret. but no one is shocked. He was born brazen. But when he starts in on the Jews, Arnie gets mad and pushes him over the side. We let him tread water, then swing around to pick him up. Remorse? No. Margaret wants him back. One of the church fathers is Augustine, who is known for his work, The City of God, St. Augustine. And he also has a number of quotations attributed to him. And so I wrote a poem called Augustinian Prayer Sonnet. Studious, yes, but hardly smart. Her breasts were larger than her heart. He kissed her tits and thought of art. Memling Cressida, Jean-Paul Sartre, of marriages which fall apart when whores are put before Descartes, of guilt which stain but do not smart, of sad bullseyes that long for darts. And so he took her bra apart and took in her tits into his heart, into his mouth, into his heart. The taste less sweet than it was tart, an act more foolish than was smart, which Christ had warned him from the start. And this one is called The Basement of Desire. There's a poem by William Carlos Williams called The Attic of Desire, but this one doesn't have anything to do with that poem. Sooner or later, realize that all the leftover wood you've been saving, all the scraps of PVC pipe in the utility closet, all the plumbing nuggets you've squirreled away, all the used sandpaper, loose roofing nails, railroad spikes, iron fillings, copper battery caps, coils of solder, cylinders of tin, carafes of glue, single hinges, tubs of bulbs, nylon cord, bladeless hacksaws, rusted caulk guns, bent nails, blunt screws, broken hammers, brittle gaskets, sleeves of galvanized washers, leftover shims, insulation kits, cans of mineral spirits, screen door hardware, drawers of squeeze nozzles, noxious solvents. The whole haberdashery of plastic pieces, sheathing connectors, and containers is just a metaphor of shifting meaning, representing sequentially and recursively your childhood, your body, your marriage, and your mind. And I'll read a few poems from my new book, Last Week.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Now, there's a very interesting phenomenon, which is that there are these winds in the Alps called phone winds, F-O-E-H-N, which repeatedly cause odd behavior in people. All kinds of strange things happen. If you Google it, you'll see about these phone winds. F-O-E-H-N. So this one was called Phone Call. I was looking at getting a Christopher smartphone, but the price was just insane. Christopher Smart is a poet. He went There's a new Sylvia Plath phone on the market, but it only comes in black. When my Plath phone stopped working, I traded it in for an Ann Sexton. What was I thinking? I am considering buying a Joyce Carol Oates phone, but do I really have that much to say? My friend lent me his porno phone, but it's a nightmare. Once you turn it on, it won't stop fucking with you. After all that, I decided on a Jesus phone. How can you go wrong with a battery that's everlasting? Now, sometimes at these poetry readings, I'm sure it won't be the case tonight, but poets read extremely sad poems. So sad that they start to weep in front of the audience, which is just extremely uncomfortable for the audience. Now, I have no objection to you writing really sad poems, and if you want to read them in public, that's fine. Just read it over and over until you can read it without breaking up. This is called There's No Crying in Poetry. There's no crying in poetry. There's no crying in poetry, says Coach Bukowski. Barnacle gnarled, stopping on the ground behind third base. But the poetry pitcher is crying. The poetry catcher is sobbing. The poetry shortstop is bawling. The poetry center fielder is doubled over, weeping bitterly. Bukowski shakes his head. Jesus, how the hell did I wind up here? He yells, hey, there's no crying in fucking poetry, you hear me? But no one on the poetry team is listening. But in the beer garden across the street, the bar poets, looking up, are waving gloves at the ball, sailing toward them. They stretch their hands above their heads and call out, I got it. No, I got it. I said I got it. And then they collide and lie like kinks in a tangled hose. The ball lands and takes a bad hop. Hits the barmaid, smack on the lip. Don't you cry. Don't you dare, she hears Bukowski saying. And though it really hurts, and though she really wants to, she doesn't.